Happy Friday, fourth graders. Senora Femin here. We are at the end of our second week of exploring functional writing. And over the past 8 lessons, you've explored writing that is useful or functional and how it comes in many different forms. I hope you've enjoyed looking at recipes, learning about making cartoons, and exploring new card games. Today we'll continue looking at directions and the importance of functional writing. Some examples of functional or useful writing are newspapers. Maybe you're looking for a job at some point in your life and you can look through the want ads. Also in a newspaper might be a schedule of what's playing at Starring Lake as far as concerts this summer. A really important type of functional writing. Another one is directions or instructions, and this happened to me just this week. I was putting together a little bike for my 3-year-old grandson, and I'm going to tell you that the directions were not very clear, and it was very hard for me to get that together. Another type would be a weather map telling you what's coming up, and obviously a how-to like brushing your teeth. Just a little review there on the different types of functional writing. Also, in addition to these, would be like recipes and how to draw, things like that. So here's a little game for you, how to play marbles. Maybe you've got some marbles around your house. This is a type of functional writing. Might actually give you something to do. Also, I found a Play-Doh recipe. Ask your parents if it's okay to make this if you decide to, but that might be kind of fun for something to do too. Again, both types of functional writing. So when we're writing good directions, which is what we're going to be doing at the end of this unit, where you will be actually writing directions for something, we have lots of things to consider. We've talked about thinking about who is the audience. Like in the little card book that I have, card games for kids, the audience is obviously kids. And to follow on that, what is the author's purpose in writing those directions? Well, he's hoping you'll enjoy learning how to play a new game. Now, I'm going to tell you that when I tried to play my pyramid game, it was kind of hard for me. I had to go back and reread those directions a couple times until I figured it out. So just know that even though I'm an adult, doesn't mean I just read the directions once and automatically know how to do it. Another thing to consider is, does the order of the directions I'm going to write make sense? It would be important to have them in a good order. And does your reader have all the information needed? And are the directions accurate and clear? When I was trying to learn how to play pyramid, I don't think the directions were that clear. When I was trying to put together the balance bike, I don't think the directions were all that clear there either. So it's important when you decide to write directions that things are clear. So again, these are the questions you should ask yourself when you are doing functional writing. So here I have 2 recipes for fruit kebabs. And my question to you is, which one of these recipes would be easier to follow? And why is it important to be clear in our directions? So I'll give you a couple seconds to look these over and think about which one would be easier. So I am going to put a little check mark right there on the one that I think is a lot clearer and a lot easier to follow. This one, to me, is much easier because it tells you exactly how many blueberries you need and how many marshmallows, and instead of just saying fruit. So we've got 2 different recipes, but it's just an example of why you would want to be very clear in your directions so that the people who are trying to learn from it can know what to do. So let's take a game that I'm guessing most of you already know, and that would be tic-tac-toe. We're going to remember that you already saw the video for this yesterday, if you did what was on the assignment yesterday. And I'm sure you already know how to play tic-tac-toe, but what we're going to consider today is how would we write directions for someone who does not know how to play this game. So let's be thinking about that. So here we've got directions for tic-tac-toe, and we're going to ask ourselves, does the order of directions make sense? Why or why not? We're also going to ask ourselves, would the reader have all the information needed to play this game? Why or why not? So it tells us the number of players, what equipment we need, what is the object of the game, how to get ready by making an actual tic-tac-toe board, and deciding who's first. Then the most important part, it tells you how to play the game. The first player makes an X or an O in one of the squares. I think that seems like that would be the first thing. Then the second player takes a turn. Keep taking turns trying to get 3 X's or O's in a row. The first player to get 3 in a row does a line through them and calls out tic-tac-toe. It seems like these directions are very clear and accurate. We know they're accurate because we already know how to play. All right, we've talked a little bit about how to write clear directions. So I'd like you to decide what you would like to practice with today. I'm going to give you lots of choices. You can, during your writing time today, add to the list of games that you made the other day. Simple games. They were supposed to be that you could teach someone how to play. You can either add to that list or you can write directions for a recipe, write directions for drawing a cartoon character, or write directions for doing something else. Eventually, we're all going to make a class book of games. So don't write directions for games yet. Either add to your list or do a recipe or a cartoon character or something else today. So I hope that gives you something kind of fun to do and gives you something to look forward to next week when we start talking about different games. And maybe we'll kind of help each other a little bit, come up with some fun games to do with our family over the next week or two. All right, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you or talk to you next week. Bye-bye.